Welcome back to AFT Die Season 9. It is round 16, Tuesday, the 22nd of July, 2025. We've got match of the round, Kangaroos versus Dockers, which is the fifth game of the round. But let's go to the first game. It is Geelong Cats versus Port Adelaide at GMHBA Stadium. Let's go to the first quarter. And the first quarter is underway. Geelong are outside. Port Adelaide, Geelong are in 11th. Port Adelaide's in 12th spot. All right, so first quarter is done. And Geelong 3-2, Port Adelaide 5-5. Let's go to the second quarter to see if Geelong can come back before half time. And the siren's gone, and Port Adelaide have kicked 3 goals, 5 to Geelong 1-3. And at half time, Port Adelaide are 29 points up, 58-29. Let's go to the third quarter in this game. Both teams need to win to have any chance of making the top 8. Third quarter, siren's gone, and the Cats have kicked 6 goals, 4 to Port Adelaide, 3 goals, 3, and it's 10 points the difference. Port Adelaide's way, 79-69 at three-quarter time. Let's go to the last quarter to see who will win this game. The second last round of the season before the finals. And the siren's gone, and Geelong have won by 21 points. They kick 6 goals, 6 to Port Adelaide, 1-5. And that puts Geelong inside the top 8. All right, let's go to the next game. It is the Giants versus Sydney, Battle of the Bridge at the Giants Stadium. Let's go to the first quarter of this game. First quarter's done, and the Giants have kicked 1 goal, 6 to Sydney, 1 goal, 4. And it's 2 points the difference, 12-10. Second quarter underway in this game. Sydney in the top 8. Siren's gone for the second quarter, end of the second quarter, and the Giants have kicked 5 goals, 5 to Sydney, 1 goal, 4. And at halftime, the Giants are up by 27 points. The Giants are 4th last. Sydney are in 6th spot. Sydney need to win this game to have any chance of trying to get into the top 4. Third quarter is completed, and the Giants have kicked 4 goals, 1 to Sydney, 2 goals, 5. And Sydney are down by 35 points. I think it's out of their reach. Last quarter's underway. The Giants could win the Battle of the Bridge. And they have. They won by 37 points. They kicked 3 goals, 6 to Sydney, 3 goals, 4. And the final scores, Giants 13-18, 96 to Sydney, 7-17, 59. All right, let's go to the next game. It is Hawthorn versus Brisbane at Marvel Stadium. Now, Hawthorn, they need to win this game to have any chance of making the 8. And we've got Hawthorn, they've kicked 2 goals, 5 to Brisbane, 6 goals, 3. So Brisbane are 22 points up, 39-17. Second quarter is underway. Second quarter, siren's gone. Hawthorn have kicked 3 goals, 4 to 3 goals, 1. And at half time, Hawthorn are down by 19 points, 39-58. Second half is underway in this game. Third quarter. And Hawthorn have kicked 6 goals, 6 to Brisbane, 1 goal, 6. And at three-quarter time, Hawthorn are up by 11 points. So after half-time, Hawthorn have come out and put 6 goals, 6 on the board to 1-6. And at three-quarter time, Hawthorn are up by 11 points, 81-70. All right, let's go into the last quarter to see if Brisbane can come back or Hawthorn will continue on. And Hawthorn in the end have won by 4 points. They kick 4 goals, 4 to Brisbane, 5 goals, 5. And with that loss to Brisbane, they could lose their top 4 position. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Melbourne versus Adelaide Crows. First quarter underway in this game. First quarter has completed. Adelaide Crows have kicked 2 goals, 4 to Melbourne, 1-3. And it's 7 points of difference to the Crows, 16-9. Second quarter has started. And the siren's gone. Melbourne have kicked 5 goals, 1 in that second quarter to Adelaide 4-1. And at halftime, Adelaide are up by 1 point, 41-40. Brisbane, the number 1 offense team in the competition. Third quarter has been completed. Melbourne have kicked 4 goals, 5 to Adelaide 3-4, and Melbourne are up by 6 points, 69-63. Last quarter underway in this match, Melbourne versus Adelaide at the MCG. Final score, Melbourne have won by 3 points. They kicked 2 goals, 6 to Adelaide, 3 goals, 3. But in the end, Melbourne have won by 3 points. Final score, Melbourne 12-15-87 to Adelaide Crows 12-12-84. All right, let's go to the next game. It is North Melbourne versus Fremantle. The match of the round. Can the Kangaroos win 6 in a row? All right, Fremantle have kicked 6 goals, 3 to North Melbourne, 2 goals, 4. It's 23 points the difference to Fremantle, 39-16. Second quarter underway. And Fremantle have kicked 4 goals, 2 to North Melbourne, 2 goals, 5. And at half time, Fremantle are up by 32 points, 65-33. Second half underway in this game. Third quarter has been completed and Fremantle have kicked 6 goals, 6 to North Melbourne, 4 goals, 2. And it is 48 points the difference to Fremantle. Last quarter underway. Fremantle will be on top, a game clear without St Kilda playing a game in the round. So they're on 13 wins, 3 losses after beating North Melbourne by 28 points. So North Melbourne lose their streak of 5. All right, let's go to the next game. It's Carlton versus St Kilda. So St Kilda need to win this game to have any chance of finishing in the top 2. St Kilda have kicked 4 goals, 3 to Carlton, 4 goals, 6. Carlton's up by 3 points, 30-27. Second quarter underway. Siren's gone. Second quarter's been completed. Carlton kicked 6 goals, 5 to St Kilda, 4 goals, 1. Half time, it is 19 points the difference. Carlton's way, 71-52. Carlton need to win to have any chance of making the 8. Third quarter underway. And St Kilda have kicked 3 goals, 2 to Carlton, 1 goal, 4. And Carlton are up by 9 points, 81-72. Will St Kilda have the momentum to win, or will Carlton get the win? Carlton have got the win in this game. St Kilda have lost their fourth game. Carlton kicked 6 goals, 5 to St Kilda, 5 goals, 4. Final score, Carlton 17-20, 122 to St Kilda, 16-10, 106. All right, let's go to the next game. It is West Coast Eagles versus Western Bulldogs at Optus Stadium. So it's 15th versus 16th. First quarter's been completed. West Coast have kicked 6 goals, 5 to Bulldogs, 3 goals, 4. Second quarter underway. Siren's gone. Western Bulldogs kick 5 goals, 2 to West Coast Eagles, 3 goals, 3. And at halftime, Eagles are up by 8 points, 62-54. Second half started. West Coast, they've kicked 2 goals 6 to Bulldogs 5 goals 6. And at three-quarter time, the Bulldogs are up by 10 points, 90-80. Last quarter. Final siren's gone, and the Eagles have won by 2 points. They kicked 4 goals 2 to Bulldogs 2 goals 2. Final score, West Coast 15-16 106 to the Western Bulldogs 15-14 104. All right. So that's West Coast Eagles' 6th win for the season. All right, let's go to the second last game. It's Richmond versus Essendon. Now, Essendon have a chance of going into second spot in the ladder. Richmond have kicked 4 goals 2 to Essendon, 3-4 in the first quarter. That's 4 points the difference. Second quarter underway. And the Bombers have kicked 3 goals 6 in that second quarter to Richmond 1-4. And halftime, Essendon are up by 10 points, 46-36. Melbourne now the number 1 offense team. Suns the number 1 defense team. Third quarter has completed, and the Bombers have kicked 6 goals 6 to Richmond 4 goals 5. And it is 23 points the difference to Essendon, 88-65. Can the Bombers win and maybe get that second spot after St Kilda losing? And the Bombers have won by 6 points. They kicked 1 goal 6 to Richmond 4 goals 5, but in the end, the Bombers have won by 6 points. Final score, Richmond 13-16-94 to Essendon 13-22-100. And Essendon couldn't put a margin on Richmond, and they still sit in third spot. St Kilda in second, Brisbane in fourth. All right, last game of the round, Collingwood versus Gold Coast Suns. Can the Suns beat Collingwood to go into the top 4? First quarter completed. Gold Coast have kicked 5 goals 4 to Collingwood 3 goals 3. And it is 13 points the difference to the Gold Coast Suns. Collingwood in 12th spot. They win. They're in the 8. And the Gold Coast Suns have kicked 6 goals 2 to Collingwood 5 goals 5. And at halftime, it is 16 points the difference to the Suns, 72-56. Second half underway. Collingwood win. They're in the 8. Gold Coast win. They're in the top 4. So after halftime, Collingwood have kicked 4 goals 5 in that third quarter to Gold Coast 1 goal 6. And at three-quarter time, it is Collingwood by 1 point, 85-84. Let's go to the last quarter to see who will win this game. Collingwood win, they're in the 8. Gold Coast win, they're in the top 4. And the Gold Coast Suns win by 18 points. They kick 5 goals 4 to Collingwood, 2 goals 3 in that last quarter. While that finalises round 16, Tuesday the 22nd of July 2025 for AFT Die Season 9. Final score, Collingwood 14-16-100 to Gold Coast 17-16-118. While that puts Gold Coast in the top 4 after Brisbane losing to Hawthorn earlier at the Marvel Stadium. So Brisbane failing at the hurdles for the remaining games. Last round 15, they drew with GWS Giants, and now they've lost against the Hawthorn Hawks, which now they sit 5th. So the final 8, the top 8 at the moment is Fremantle on top, game clear with St Kilda, Essendon on the same points, 48, and Gold Coast Suns are in the top 4. Brisbane, they're in 5th, Melbourne 6th, Sydney 7th, and Carlton 8th. Collingwood had to win today to have any chance of making the finals. It's going to be hard now with only one game to go before the finals. Match of the round for round 17 is Gold Coast Suns versus Essendon at Metricon Stadium. That is going to be an absolute ripper. Suns win. They're in the top 4. And they've got the double chance. So that's it. The Gold Coast Suns have got the biggest winning streak of 4, with Essendon on 3. So it's those two teams finishing the home and away season for match of the round. All right, that is round 16 completed. We'll see you next time.